Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Sitting outside, a nice cloud just came over. I thought I was going to broil out here. It's pretty hot already. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. I was playing around. You know, Sunday mornings are just like I don't have as many obligations, so I just play around on the computer and see where the internet takes me sometime when I'm reading. And I'm usually studying. I'm not usually just, checking out porn and playing video games. But anyhow, today I was thinking, as I've mentioned before, I have Canadian followers, so I know it gets quite cold up there, but even in the northern parts of the state and a lot of places of Europe, I know you're about to start getting cold. So I started thinking about, and I do videos for my Raw to Ford people that like to watch me, and I appreciate them watching me. And I was thinking, one thing I haven't shared with anybody that I'm not, I haven't eaten much of it because I didn't follow that lifestyle. I know a bit about it because I've been interested in a certain culture for 25, 30 years. And that is, for you people that do Raw to Ford, for you people that just basically have to eat some cooked food in the wintertime to stay warm or just for availability. And if you're around a city especially, I want you to look into Ital food. Ital food is the food of the Rastafarians. Now, if you don't know much about the Rastafarians, all you might see is what you see in the media. They've got dreadlocks, they smoke ganja, and they listen to reggae music. Well, there's a whole lot more to these people, and a lot of the ones, even if you've been to any of the Caribbean countries, you may not have seen Rasta because there's a lot of dreads down there. And there's always a saying, him have dread on him head but not in him heart, which means there's a lot of dreads down there that are not actually Rastas. Rastas have their beliefs. It's somewhat loosely based on the Old Testament and different parts of the Bible, but they have a very clean way of eating. And I started looking into Ital food again this morning, and I'll probably cook some of this when I go back to the States in December for some good warming stews. Especially, that's what got me thinking about doing a video for my Raw to Ford friends and anybody else that might have cooked food in the winter, because there's a lot of stews in there, and they're very hearty stews. They have a lot of, I'm going to read a little bit in general about Ital and the Rastafarian diet, and just to kind of give you a little idea about it. As in many cultures, the Rastafarian Ital diet is based on the spiritual belief and interpretation from biblical references in Genesis, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, that the body is a temple and must be kept clean and pure. Therefore, the strictest Rastafarians follow what most people would recognize as a vegan macrobiotic diet. This means they refrain from ingesting animal products such as meat, dairy, and eggs, and only eat food that is fresh, local, and in season. The Ital diet focuses on consuming fruits, vegetables, whole grain, beans, and legumes, with the inspiration for all Ital dishes being based in Indian and African cooking. Staple Ital foods are coconuts, bananas, callaloo similar to spinach, pimento, and coconut oil. But these foods may not be in season or local to the area where the Rastafarian lives, so staple foods can differ greatly in certain cases. Another staple are roots, like root vegetables, or tubers, I guess you would call them, like yucca. Yucca's big, steaming yucca, boiling yucca, making it good and soft. Actually, I love yucca way more so than potatoes. Boiling green bananas. When you boil the green bananas or green plantains, they have more of a vegetable-like taste, and they're very hearty. Now, they just do go on to talk about, but that's like in any belief system or culture or whatever. Some of the less strict Rastafarians eat some fish, smaller fish. This is because a fish of a larger size is symbolic of the Babylonians who fed off of others. And then some go down, but your real Rasta, your real conscious Rasta is vegan and eats very organic and eats in season. Processed, chemically altered, and artificial foods, including dried foods, salt and oil, are generally not consumed by those following an Ital diet because they are also believed to be destructive to the body. It is for this same reasoning that drinks such as sodas, teas, and caffeines are rarely, if ever, consumed by strict Rastafarians because of their caffeine content. Herbal tea is the exception due to its low caffeine content and natural herbal properties. Alcohol is the one substance considered forbidden in Rastafarian culture due to its destructive effects not only on the body but also on culture and society as a whole. when it comes to ensuring food is as natural as possible, some Rastafarians go as far as refraining from using metal food utensils and containers such as cans, which can be chemically altered food due to the use of BPA liners. Instead, Rastas opt to use cooking pots and utensils made out of clay or wood. Rastafarians that follow an ITAL diet consisting of plants and whole grains, which are the basis of any healthy diet, will find it easier to maintain a healthy weight and will live a healthier life, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's just basically, I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction to the Rastas and the way they eat. I would suggest looking that up. I'm going to put some links down below this, like I'll put a link to this article that tells about Rasta and the ITAL diet in general. I've got a link marked for a video just explaining a little bit about the way of cooking ITAL food. And then I'm going to share a couple of recipes that I found. One is for a stew and one is for a quinoa medley. But this is, you know, and the reason I mentioned you Canadian folk is I know Toronto has a lot of West Indian people there that have immigrated there, because I used to know a lot in Miami. So I'm sure you can, you know, if you look around, not every Jamaican or not every Trini, people from Trinidad is Rasta, but I'm sure somewhere in the community, in a place as big as, say, Toronto, or if you're in the States in a major city like a New York City, probably a Chicago, they're everywhere. London, there's a lot of Jamaicans in London. Look for them there. But check into ITAL food. These people are dialed in. They lead a very clean way of life. I've been interested in Rastafarians for, God, like 30 years. I first went to Jamaica like in 1989, I believe, and I went to a reggae festival there that just changed my life. I mean, it was the energy there was just amazing, and I learned what the real Rasta was. But you don't have to agree. Like, I'm not getting into the religious aspects of it. I'm just showing you another way. This is some hella tasty food, and you know, whether you can get the yuca, whether you can get all the ingredients, they use a lot of spice. They use, I think maybe that must be in the video. I didn't read it there. They use a good bit of, there's turmeric and a lot of things. They use coconut milk a lot. I think one of these stews here has a coconut milk base, and it's hearty. It's got these tubers, like, you know, a typical bowl of this stew would have coconut milk. It would have pieces of juca in there. It would have pieces of boiled banana in there. It would have callaloo, spinach. It would have corn in there. It would have these peppers. You might have to find something different. I mean, a typical Jamaican dish is called for Scotch bonnie peppers, which are basically super hot, but you might have to make do with the pepper. You might not get yuca where you're from. You might have, but you can always, if you usually watch recipes of any sort on YouTube, you can figure out, if you can understand the concept of how they're combining things and what's thick and this and that, you can usually make reasonable substitutions. Anyhow, Rawdle Floor people that are transitioning, or people that are just living in a circumstance where you just, it's almost impossible to eat raw in the wintertime. Add these to your meal. This is good hearty food. It's going to keep you warm in the winter. It's clean and it's righteous. Thanks for joining me today. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, and hey, share this with your friends. There might be some other people out there that might grab the eyes. I'd love to grab the eyes of some Jamaicans or Trinis or any Rasta folk or anybody that makes this kind of food, because I'd like to know a little bit more about it. Anyhow, thanks for joining me today. I love you guys. Peace.